Loops. What do you mean by loops? In programming, if we are going to repeat same thing more than one time, so definitely we need a loop. So basically loop means iteration, right? So when some actions performed as a part of algorithm needs repeating, like if I say, Muntaha, you need to print your name 10 times. So you said, sir, I need to write print Muntaha, print Muntaha, print Muntaha 10 times. I said, no, this is not the way to program. You must write a specific code one time and it repeats itself number of times. So for that cases, you are going for the option of loops. So loop means iteration, right? So if you wanted to perform any particular things number of times, you are going for the option of loops. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So loops means iteration. While you wanted to repeat a particular statement for a number of time, more than one time, you have to go for the loops, right? So there are three types of loops. How many types of loops are there? Three. Count control loop, precondition loop, and post condition loop. Yes. How many types of loops are there?
Three.
Yes. Name them.
Count control loops,
Yes.
precondition loops, and post condition loops.
Yes. So we are starting from the count control loops. In a count control loop, we have a loop called for next. Why for next? Listen. In a count control loop, we have a set number of iterations. What does it mean? Let's suppose if I ask you to print your name 10 times. How many times? 10 times.
10.
So it means that you know how many times the loop iterate. Tell me. 10 times. So if you know the number of iterations, the number of repetitions in a program, that is called count control loop. So if I'm saying to you that you need to print your name how many times? 10 times. So it means you have to use for next loop because you know the number of repetitions. So in for next loop, look, they said that it have a set number of repetitions. Let's suppose for counter 1 to 10. Is that okay?
Yes.
So the count control loop means the loop which have a set number of iterations. Is
Okay.
it? Okay. So you can see for loops are used when a set number of iterations are required. Right? So for statements with the counter starting at once, finishing at 10 increments, right? It means that, let's suppose I'm giving you an objective. What is objective? The objective is write an algorithm to print your name 10 times. Yes. So in this objective, it is very, very clear that how many times you need to print your name. Yes,
10.
10 times. So which loop you're going to use here?
Count control.
Count control. And in count control loop, which loop we are using? We use for next. We use
for next.
We use
for next.
Yes. So how do we write an algorithm? How do we write an algorithm? Write an algorithm to print your name 10 times. The first thing I always teach you in algorithm that what you have to draw. You need to draw a box or a column. And that column is called what to do. This is a rough work. You always need to draw this in order to make your program easy to understand. Because many students asking me that, sir, how do we start writing algorithm? So this is a way to understand what you have to write in algorithm. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, now in what to do, let's start. What is the objective? Can you read it? Hello?
Write an algorithm to print your name 10 times.
Yes. Print your name 10 times. So what you have to do to write this algorithm? What is the first thing you need to do? Any idea?
You need to write begin.
Begin. We need to first declare what? Variable. This is the first thing you always do while starting your algorithms. What?
Declare variable.
Yes. What do you have to do?
Declare variable.
Yes. What do you have to do?
Oh, you have to write an algorithm to
No,
print your
no.
name 10 times.
You're answering me correctly. I'm asking you again and again to make you remind the things. So don't get confused, okay? Okay.
Okay.
What you have to do while you're writing algorithm?
Declare variable.
Yes. Now the question is, sir, what is variable? What is variable? Do you know what is variable? It is a temporary value. It is a temporary value which
Temporary.
stores the user's input. It is a what? Tell me.
Temporary value which stores the user in.
So the question is, sir, what is the variable in this algorithm objective? Yes. Can you tell me what is the variable thing we need to declare in this algorithm? Look.
Name.
Yes, very good answer. We need to declare a variable, and that variable will be name. So name is a variable, right? Very good answer, Muntaha. So while we are going to declare a name, in the memory, a box will generate like this. And in that box, we are going to input the name. Is that clear?
Yes.
So listen to me very carefully. Muntaha, you input the name Ali because somebody name is Ali. But if any other user come and write down any other name, so the variable will accept, because this is a concept of variable I teach you, that variable is a temporary thing, temporary value. Look, so anybody can come and anybody can input the name according to it. Like going to input my name, Minhaj. You are going to input your name. So variable is a value, a box, a box, a box in which we enter the data, and data is changeable, right?
Yes.
So what is the name of that box? Name. Name. Because in our objective, we need to print name, right?
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, sir, we have to print the name. That's fine. It's very easy. But 10 times. How many times? Come on.
10 times.
Why you're sleeping, man? 10 times. How many times?
10.
10 times. So we have to print the name 10 times. So definitely we need any other variable, because look, these 10 numbers have to be stored again in a variable. So we have to declare an other variable instead of name. We need to, no, not instead, with the name variable, we need to declare one more variable. So while you're using the loops, remember Muntaha, whenever you are using the loop, there should be a fixed variable. Matlab, you always need to declare that variable. And that variable name is counter. That variable name is counter. In counter, you are going to input these numbers. So the counter works to count the names. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Actually. Now, this is counter and this is a variable name. So in a variable, what name you're going to input? Let's suppose you're going to input Ali. You're going to input what? Ali. Look. So Ali is a single name you have to be entered. But you wish to print that name how many times?
10.
So look, the output should be like this. What is the problem? Why this is not working? It's working here. Okay, fine. It's working. Ali. How many times? Again, Ali. Again, Ali. How many times? Come on, tell me.
10.
Yes. So it means how many variables we need to use? 2 variables. One for the name to store the name, and one for the counter to store these numbers. So this should be your output on the screen. 10 times the name.
Okay.
This is the procedure called what to do. So it makes your algorithm very easy to write. Believe me. That is the reason mostly students are not able to write algorithm because they don't know how to write. So I always train my student to make this column in the exams. You can make this column in the exams. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Now, let's start. What we have to do? We have to declare. Declare what? Variable. What is the first variable? Name.
Name.
What is the data type for name? Data type.
String.
String. Very good answer. Very good answer. Now, what is the next variable?
Counter.
Counter. Very good. What is the data type in counter? It's
Integer.
Excellent. Integer. Now, listen.
Sir,
Yes.
why can't name be character?
Because character only stores a single character, like M for male, F for female. And CHAR, we can use CHAR instead of STR, string. So string means any alphabet.
Okay.
Now, declaration is done. What is the next thing we need to input?
Yeah.
Input. What we need to input? First, you have to say, sir, we need to print my name how many times? 10 times. So definitely what we need? What we need?
Loop.
What loop we are going to use here?
For
next.
count control.
For next. Yes, count control is a type, but you have to tell me the loop name. For next.
Okay.
Is that okay? So now I'm going to use a for next loop. Look, for counter. Look, counter. Why counter? Counter. 1, 2, 10. So look here in the what to do column. I write a counter variable, look, and in counter, how many values are stored?
10.
Perfect answer. 10. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, for counter 1 to 10, so the computer is ready for count the thing. What thing? What thing? What thing computer? Yes. So what we have to input? Come on, input. What?
Name.
Yes, input name. So the input name is going to be used here. So after input, input is done. So we input the name. What is the name? Let's suppose we write Ali. So Ali, look. So on counter 1, Ali is printed. Look, this is done. But how many times we need? Again, the same question.
10.
10 times. So what we have to do? Let's see. Input name, print. Counter, we need to print it. Counter means 1, comma, Ali. Sorry, name. So in name, look, in name, what we input? Look, I type Ali. Look, All right, Ali. And counter is automatic because we have already declared counter repeats 1 till 10. After this print counter, comma name, computer screen shows 1, Ali. But we need it 10 times. So we must use next. What? Next. With for, we use next. Next with the variable. What is the variable we use with for? What is the variable we use with for? Counter. So we use counter again with the next.
Okay.
Right? So I make indentation for you to understand it. And then we need to stop our program or end our program. So did you understand this indentation loop for next? So while we print next counter, look, the computer jumps from 1 till 2, next, then 2 till 3, next, then 2 after 3, 4, then 4 after 5. And then how many times it is going to iterate? Tell me.
10.
And when it reaches to 10, what happened? Our loop will stop or continue?
Stop.
Excellent. This is how the for next works. This is how the count control loop works.
Okay.
Any confusion?
No.
I just teach you one thing right now. I teach you the topic of loops. In loop, I just teach you count control loop. In count control loop, we have a for next. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So please take out your notebook. First, you need to write down the loop structure definition. Listen to me. You need to write down this thing. Then you need to write these 3 bullets. And then you need to write this box only for next. And then you need to write down this whole. But right now, do one thing. Do one thing. It makes a lot. You have to write just count control loop heading. Definition with this objective. Quick.
Okay.
Do it now. So now you understand how the count control loops work, right? Now, we have another type of loop that's called precondition loops. May have no iterations, right? So a precondition loops are here. Just a second. So precondition loops lie in our topic of condition control loops right here. Are you able to see?
Yes.
Oh, yes. I maximize the fonts for you. Okay. So when the number of iterations is not known, there are 2 options. Did you notice? Number of iterations is not known. But in count control loop, we know how many times we need to print our name.
10
times. But in condition control loop, there is no option. So there are 2 options for this reason. Number 1, precondition loop, which may have no iterations, and post condition loops, which always have at least 1 iteration. So what does it mean? In a condition control loop, we use while do loop, right? And repeat until loop. What? While do and repeat until. There are 2 types of loops in condition control loop. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what is the difference between them? Look, in repeat until loop, a repetition where the number of repeat is not known, that is completed at least once. What does it mean? It means that if I'm going to say that you need to wake up till 8 a.m. So you're going to fix an alarm for it, right? You need to fix an alarm, right? Okay. So when will your alarm starts ringing? When it reaches to 8 a.m. So it means the alarm is not going to be ring on 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. But it reaches to the 8 a.m., it starts alarming. It means that your loop at least completed once only. Your condition becomes true while you reaches to 8 a.m. So in this way, the repeat until works.
Okay.
Now, listen to me very carefully. I'm copying the same algorithm for you. Same algorithm. Write an algorithm to print your name 10 times. Again, I'm taking this objective. Look. Okay? But this time, I am teaching you via repeat until. Objective is same, look. But the way of writing the algorithm is different. So I'm not saying that print your name. Okay, 10 times, fine. Now I'm going to copy it again. Look, I just copy it down. I'm deleting everything because what to do is already understand by you. So I'm not drawing it again. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, now listen to me very carefully. How does it works? What is the logic? I'm just giving you an exact way. You need to use repeat here. Instead of for, you need to use repeat. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, you need to use repeat. Look. And then you need to input, of course. You need to print counter comma name because you print it on screen like that. Then you have to give the condition. What is the condition? Until, tell me, counter equals to. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Until counter equals to 10. Did you get the logic or not?
Yeah.
So this is the way to write repeat until. So this is the way to understand. So look, you're repeating the number. Look, listen. 1, your name. 2, your name. 3, your name. So the counter is repeating, look, 4, your name. But what is the deadline? What is a stop point? When the counter stop? Tell me.
When it's done.
Huh?
When it's done.
When it reaches to 10. When it reaches to 10.
10.
So it means that your counter works or stop at least one time. This is a difference between the condition control loop and count control loop. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, please write it down again.
Okay.
Right? For next and repeat until. Okay, the next is a post condition loop again, which always have at least one iteration. So this loop is called a while do loop. In a while do loop, you need to write a condition and that condition works at least one time, right? So let me do an algorithm, just a second. So, while do. This is our book example, right? Okay, so you see here in this example, I'm just going to make it bigger. Yes. Okay, you see here, you are taking a variable.